Now, a new report has found many young people aren't reaping the benefits of strong employment growth in Australia. In fact, more than 7 out of 10 jobs created for people under 35 were part-time, and around 9 out of 10 jobs for people under 25 were also part-time. Now, that's according to an analysis of Australia's official employment statistics. For more, I'm joined by Conrad Liveris, who crunched the numbers. He joins me from Perth. Firstly, Conrad, what did you find in your report?
Yeah, so since the past 12 months have been a really good year for job growth across the board. But as you just pointed out, there has been a lot of part-time growth for the younger end of the labour market. There's been better full-time growth for those mid-career and those older. But then also at the same time, there's a real discrepancy amongst the states as well. And so there's a lot of job growth happening in New South Wales, creating 4 in 10 jobs in the past year, and not so much shared around with the mining and resources states as well.
So what's the impact of young people not getting full-time work?
Yeah, so there's a lot here. So to begin with, a lot of young people are having to pull together perhaps 2 part-time jobs or part-time work and contract work as well to try and maintain close to full-time incomes. So that's a really great challenge that's going on at the moment. So it's limiting their income. To be completely honest, this is going to mean that they're going to be more reliant on either taking out debt from banks or relying on perhaps a more familiar bank like the Bank of Mum and Dad.
Now, we've seen the structure of the labour force change, so is there any surprise here? We have, over a number of years, seen an increase in casualisation in the Australian workforce.
Yeah, so this is obviously a long-term trend, as you just said. So, it's not a huge surprise. I think the great surprise for me, though, is the actual scale of the change that's going on. And so with young people having to experience the greatest casualisation, it's really a forward trend that's happening here. So it's not so much people who have already established their careers, it's people coming through now. And so that's the real schism that's going on here. And so that's the real frustration that people are experiencing. And so, this shift into services over more heavy-duty industries that Australians are familiar with is part of this change as well.
And now you've also been looking at the gig economy, and again, there's evidence there that suggests that many of the workers are young people.
Yeah, so it does seem to be young people who are actually better engaging in this sort of stuff. And, perhaps this seems to me as if it's less out of choice and more out of the need to maintain a certain level of income and their lifestyle associated with that. So there is a lot of growth happening in the rise in small micro businesses and individual contractors, but also, at the same time, I'm a bit concerned because there has been a serious reduction in the survival rate of these sort of businesses. So, they've actually dropped by over 20% in survival, which is pretty concerning. So it does raise questions about the capability of the people starting businesses.
Just quickly, what can be done? What can be done about this?
Yeah, so when it comes to the casualisation aspect, there's got to be a fair bit of attention paid to the regulatory arm of actually enabling people to combine better work, two types of work together. Businesses need to respond to this and actually adapt to it themselves rather than just demanding greater flexibility from their workers. And then also there's got to be some capacity building in the community more broadly in actually how to manage this sort of stuff. So there is a fair bit of action that needs to be taken.
Okay, Conrad Liveris, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Sue.